Major breaking news as a federal judge has signaled that they're continuing to block the Trump administration. On what is the question you guys may be asking? Let's figure that out and break it down in today's legal breaking news reporting. This article is by CBS News. The article is titled, Judge Continues to Block Trump Administration's Freeze on Federal Assistance, by Jacob Rosen and Melissa Quinn. And the article reads, a federal judge, on Tuesday continued to block the Office of Management and Budget from freezing federal assistance, delivering another blow to the Trump administration's ongoing efforts to shrink federal spending. Judge AliKhan from the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia ruled in favor of a group of nonprofit organizations in finding that they are likely to succeed in their challenge to the pause on all federal grants, loans, and other federal assistance. Federal assistance programs. The judge found that the nonprofits proved that the funding freeze would be economically and catastrophic, and in some circumstances fatal to their members, and agreed to grant their request for a preliminary injunction while the case plays out. AliKhan had previously issued a temporary restraining order that prevented the administration of Trump, my editorial edition, from freezing federal assistance while she considered the nonprofit's request for injunctive relief. The judge held a hearing on their motion last week. The nonprofit groups had argued that the Trump administration exceeded its authority by ordering the nationwide funding freeze and said it was threatening the federal aid based on their exercise of their First Amendment rights, some of which of free speech and association. AliKhan agreed in her decision that the government, quote, may be crossing a constitutional line. Quote, the scope of power OMB seeks to claim is, quote, breathtaking, quote, and its ramifications are massive, end quote, wrote the judge, who was appointed by former President Joe Biden, quote, because there is no clear statutory hook for this broad assertion of power, plaintiffs are likely to succeed on the merits of this claim, end quote. AliKhan said that the nonprofits showed a mountain, quote, of evidence that, quote, even the threat of a funding freeze was enough to send countless organizations into complete disarray, end quote, begin quote, while turning off funding streams appears to have been alarmingly easy, turning them back on has proven much more difficult, end quote, she wrote. OMB issued its memo directing federal agencies to temporarily pause all activities related to federal financial assistance on January 27. The directive swiftly prompted 2 lawsuits, one by the group of nonprofits, filed in federal district court, that is, in Washington, D.C., and the second from a group of Democratic-led states brought in Rhode Island. But 2 days after the OMB issued its memo, it was rescinded. Shortly after the memo was walked back, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt announced on social media that the new directive was not not a recession of the federal funding freeze, but solely an unwinding of OMB's Jan 27th memo. While the government argued that the White House memo to pause grants and other assistance was rescinded and should not be considered broadly, quote, agencies still implemented the original memorandum as written, end quote, AliKhan wrote in her decision, which resulted in funds for programs in the, quote, Head Start programs, end quote, and funds for similar businesses being frozen. Quote, defendants still cannot provide a reasonable explanation for why they need to freeze all federal financial assistance in less than a day to, quote, safeguard valuable taxpayer resources, end quote, AliKhan added. While the White House Budget Office's pause on federal assistance is part of President Trump's efforts to overhaul the federal government. The White House also took executive action to order a 90-day pause on foreign assistance funding, also the subject of legal challenges, and has fired thousands of federal workers who were considered probationary. Another 75,000 government employees accepted an offer, unfortunately my editorial edition, from the new administration to resign their positions but continue receiving full pay and benefits until the 30th of September, my editorial edition. The Trump administration has hit roadblocks in the courts as dozens of lawsuits have been filed that challenge Mr. Trump's policies and initiatives aimed at shrinking the size of the federal government. In the Rhode Island case involving the funding freeze brought by a group of 22 states and the District of Columbia, a federal judge found that the Trump administration had not complied with an earlier order requiring agencies to restore any paused or withheld federal funds. The states had argued that they continued to be denied access to assistance. The judge in that case, U.S. District Judge John McConnell, demanded the Trump administration reinstate any frozen funds and said the pause on federal assistance is likely unconstitutional. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for today's legal breaking analysis video. If you did enjoy this legal breaking analysis video, please give it a like, comment, share, and subscribe. Please help me reach the channel goal of 110 subscribers plus. The reason why I'm saying 110 subscribers plus is because we have more subscribers to reach after we reach the goal of 110 subscribers. Secondly, if you guys want to stay up to date on when I posted a brand new legal analysis video to the channel, please follow me down below on my social media platforms. I am on Instagram, Snapchat, and Threads. Those 3 social media platforms, you guys can stay instantly up to date on when I posted a brand new legal analysis video to the channel. Another way you guys can stay up to date is by clicking the little bell icon right next to the subscribe button. It does not cost anything. And click the all options when you go to select if you want to be notified of all legal analysis videos or if you just want to be notified of some legal analysis videos. Thank you everybody for watching today's breaking legal analysis reporting video, and please stay safe and enjoy the video, and I will talk to you guys in the next legal breaking analysis video.